What's up YouTube, it's Taylor, and thank you for clicking on this video. This is kind of a weird video to make, I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of making me uncomfortable. And the reason that that is true is because I'm gonna be talking about something that is so hard to put a finger on. And it's so much more different than what people expect and what people think, because it's things that we are not even aware of that could have a label. And what I'm talking about is charisma. And if you've never met me before, you've never seen me before, my name is Taylor, and thank you for clicking on this video and watching my channel. I talk about mindset, money, sales, real estate, stocks, and lots of other fun things along those lines. But this specific video today is about talking to you regarding something that I feel that I have and that I don't think a lot of people realize is a learnable skill. And that is charisma. Okay, and we hear this all the time, right? We hear somebody is like got that it factor, it's the energy, it's the presence. And for the longest time, I believed that that's the way that everybody thought, and that's the way that everybody behaved, is that people really enjoyed being around you, right? People like talking to you, people seeked you out and wanted to be around you and wanted to talk to you. And that's because it's been for me like that for as long as I can remember. And that's why this video is weird. It's like weird for me to make, because I feel like I'm just tooting my own horn, but I'm just looking at it as specifically and logically as I possibly can. And to honestly give you more tools, because I think that it's a really under-discussed topic, and it's a really, really powerful thing. In my opinion, it's one of the most powerful things that has helped me get to where I am in my life. And if you and I were having a normal conversation, like back and forth, I feel like these would be the questions that you'd be asking, right? And these are the questions that I'm going to answer for you from a perspective of someone who does have those qualities. And if you have seen my videos before, or maybe you know me, you realize that there might be something special about me that draws you to watch me, right? It might be that we knew each other for many years ago and you were always like, oh, she's got something going on, you know, she's always got this going on, whatever. You're just genuinely curious. And so what I'm here to tell you is that all these things that I do is a learned skill. And I'm so grateful for my parents, my mom, my dad, because they really fostered this within me from as long as I can remember, is that it is up to me to make that great first impression. It's up to me to make other people feel, you know, important. And I think that's one of the things that sets me apart in not only in my business and in sales, but also in my personal life and creating content even, is that people want to know more about me. And the reason that is because I'm putting out myself in the way that I am, as who I am. And who I am is a charismatic and energetic, charming person. And that is why it's weird to make this video, because I'm like, oh, I'm so great. Like, here's why. It is a science, okay? It's no different from you learning how to read, learning how to speak a different language. It is the same thing. And when you realize that all these things that I'm talking about and everything that I am is something that you can learn, the sooner that you will be able to tap into this, practice it in your own life, and realize the same benefits, which is the fact that other people want to be around me. People like to be around me. And again, I took this for granted for many years of my life, and it's not until just recently that Michael and I discussed in detail, in depth, about some of the things that are strengths and weaknesses in each of us, and specifically in me when it comes to leadership and sales and creating content, and literally everything that happens every day in my life anyways. And it's like, why is it that I have been successful, right? Is it because I have this super specific sales technique? You know, no. Is it because I've got a really nice smile? Like, no. It's all these things that are in combination that make me who I am, in addition to doing great sales techniques and having a nice smile. Like, whatever, right? So it is something to know. So anyways, I'm gonna just dive in, because it just is really fascinating to me that other people can do this too, but we just choose not to, right? So I'm here to give you actionable steps so that you can become charismatic in your own life. Okay, what is charisma? What is that? What is it that you are looking at and you hear and feel when you talk to somebody who has it? And that it is the energy that compels you to someone else, right? Why is it that you want to talk to me? Why is it that you enjoy watching my videos? Why is it that you like to talk to me in person, right? These are all things that are what charisma is. Another word that I have to use charisma in replace, is the same, is that presence, right? That person has a presence about them. It's a non-verbal thing. It is something that we see, we feel that confidence, and that is exactly what that is. Okay, so how is it a skill and how can it be learned? Now, I feel that it's a skill because it really boils down to a mindset and the choices that we make on a daily basis in every single conversation we have. And when I say every single conversation we have, I literally mean every single conversation we have. Whether you're at the grocery store, whether you're getting your nails done, whatever it is that you're doing, you have the choice to be charismatic or not. And it boils down to what is your mindset when it comes to being that person. Now, especially in today's world, and I've said this many times before, but especially in today's world, everybody's so disconnected. They just want to be disconnected. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to ask you about your family. I don't care about how you're doing, because everybody's just consumed with consuming. So even more so in today's world, you have the ability to really stand out by being charismatic. Okay, so mindset. You're like, okay, what does that mean? Okay, we're going to dive into that in a little bit. You have the choice to be intentional. You have the choice to be intentional in every area of your life, but specifically when it comes to conversations and communication. You have the ability to study what works well for other people. Okay, so you can see me, I'm making eye contact, I'm using my hands a lot. The inflections in my voice are intentional with what I'm doing. So you're studying me. That can be a skill that you are able to pick up on, is watching what works with other people. And then also the last thing that I'll say about being charismatic is a choice, is that you have the ability to ask the right questions. This is a huge thing that I think plays a big role in charisma, is asking the right questions. So I'm going to just, again, jump right into each of these. So mindset. Okay. So what is mindset? The mindset is that I am worthy of this. I am worthy of having you watch me. I am worthy of having all of the business in the world want to work with me in my company. I am worthy of you wanting to talk to me. I am a magnet, right? I'm a magnet for all these positive things that are happening in my life. I'm a magnet for money. I'm a magnet for other successful people to seek me out and want to talk to me. And I love thinking about that, because the more that you believe something about yourself, the more that your actions are going to align with those beliefs. So if I believe that I'm a marathon runner, I believe that I'm capable of running a marathon, I'm going to start to act in alignment with those. If we say something in our brains that we don't actually believe, then we're going to not do those things that align with that, right? So the more that you can repeat to yourself that you are a magnet, that you are energetic, that you are someone that other people want to talk to, the sooner that you will act in alignment with that. And then of course that mindset is that people enjoy being around me. People choose to stand next to me at events. People like to talk to me. People message me, all these things, right? You just have to start thinking about who it is that you want to become and then start becoming that person. And I think it's funny because yes, I believe that we're all acting in significantly lower ways than what our true potential is. And so when you start to believe that people enjoy being around you, people are going to enjoy being around you. Okay. And then the last thing with the specific mindset section that I'll talk about is that you, as a charismatic person, have a genuine interest in other people. And this goes into the asking the right questions comment that I just made as well, is that when you have a genuine interest in other people, you're going to be asking better questions than what normal people ask, right? You could ask, how's your day going? Great. Okay, great. Or you could ask, hey, your business that you're building, tell me what you would have done differently. Like, that is a significantly better question than how are you doing, right? And this is specifically for sales or connecting with business owners or whatever, but it could be in anything, right? In dating, you could say, hey, how are you? Oh wow, this weather is just absolute garbage, right? Or you could be like, hey, what is something that you wish you would have done 10 years ago, right? Or like, tell me about a goal that you want to achieve in the new year, right? And it doesn't have to necessarily be where they have to open up their entire soul to you, but you're asking questions to be intentional so that you make sure that that other person knows that you care about what they have to say. that you cared enough to go out of your way to ask a question like that, that could potentially make you or them uncomfortable in a good way, that is what is the tipping point. Okay, so eye contact, you've got great physical structure while you're standing there, you're intentional about being non-monotone, you're intentional about asking those questions, you're intentional on all of these small things that are really not small. These are all very big things. So when you show a genuine interest in others, it allows you to actually get to know somebody and ask those really good questions. The next thing other than mindset is choices of being intentional. Again, this just aligns with all of this, okay? Even at a small level, right? Even at a grocery store and you're at the checkout, maybe you're at Target, you're checking out, whatever. The checkout person sees thousands of people a day. Thousands of people a day. And my goal is to be memorable. I want that person to be like, oh, this lady made me smile. Like, oh, this is very cool, right? So, you know, asking questions like, oh, what was the biggest total that you rang up today, right? Like, okay, tell me about the last person that you saw that made you smile or whatever, right? It doesn't have to be, again, it doesn't have to be a book that they're going to tell you. It doesn't have to be where they open up this whole life story to you, but it's enough to make them feel like they're seen. And that is what charisma is seeing the specialness in other people. And I have a sparkle in my eye because I choose to light it up every day. And it is a skill, no different from me learning how to speak Spanish. It is a skill that I turn on, and I didn't realize that it was a skill until talking and discussing that with Michael, is that you choose to do these things, okay? So the next thing, again, is studying what works for others. Now, I'm not just saying study people that you know. Obviously, that's really important, but watch other people when they're doing interviews, right? Watch people that are celebrities. Maybe watch somebody who's a professional public speaker. Listen to the pauses that they take. Listen to the way that their cadence is when they speak. Watch their hands. Look at how they present themselves. These are all keys. These are all clues, right? And we have the ability to pick up on these clues and to take and to learn and to experience as much as possible with those things. So that's one of the things that I think is, again, really wildly underutilized, is that you have the ability to study other people at any moment. You literally go to youtube.com, which you're probably there watching. Well, you're already on YouTube watching this, but after this video, make sure you stay to the end of it. After this video, you're able to go and just click into a TED Talk and learn about, learn about body language. Learn about how to speak clearly, how to get your point across, how to become a better communicator, how to, do all these things. And those are all part of charisma. All of these pieces of who we are as people boils down to how charismatic that person is, right? So those are so important. I feel like this video is it's just so important. If you want your life to be better, you have to get better. You can't just think that it's going to get better. You can't just hope and pray that tomorrow's going to be a better day, that 2023 is going to be better, that the new month is going to be better. I'll start Monday. No, you need to start doing stuff now. And don't expect yourself to be a level 10 master at speaking to people and connecting with people, because it's not going to happen overnight. It's intentional decisions every single day. It's asking the right questions. It's all these things. Okay, so how are you going to do this? You're like, okay, Taylor, that's all great. That's so easy for you, right? That's probably what you're thinking. But the only reason it's easy for me is because I've literally done it. My first sales presentation 10 years ago when I started in sales was like garbage. Okay, it was not great. I can just guarantee it. Probably be pretty funny, actually. My first YouTube video, my first date, my first anything. Everybody's first something was not great. But you have to have the courage to make that decision and start doing something. So how are you going to do it? You're going to do it with the small things. You're going to do it when you talk to yourself in the mirror. You're going to do it by reminding yourself with that mindset. You're going to rewire your mind to believe that you are worthy of these things. This is going to spill over into everything else. You're going to overflow. You're going to be like, oh, this is sweet. This is it. And then you're going to get really charismatic. And then it's going to spill over to everything else. You're going to have more money. You're going to have better relationships. You're going to have a better body. You're going to have a better mental health. You're going to have a better outlook. Everything is going to become better because you are choosing to invest in you. And this is the key point that I need to make, is that you are worth investing in. You're worth spending time on practicing these things if you really hate talking to people, if you're really awkward in social situations, if you feel like you don't have the ability to do any of this, stop yourself and tell yourself that you do. Because your mind is the only thing that's holding you back. Your mindset is the only thing that's stopping you. Why do you have those thoughts, right? Maybe somebody along the line told you that you're terrible at talking to people. Maybe you get sweaty palms and they're like, that's my body telling me to stop doing that, right? Maybe you stutter. Maybe you have all these things that just stop you from becoming what you think that it's stopping you from becoming what you want to become. But again, everything is a learnable skill. So you're going to do it by mindset. So this is really the biggest part of it, is just believing that it's capable, believing that you're capable of doing these things and having these things happen to you. So I am worthy of this. I'm a magnet for positive things to happen. People enjoy being around me. People think I'm funny. People really like to be around me, right? Just keep repeating these in your brain. Just repeat them. Just repeat them, repeat them, repeat them, okay? And then you're going to start talking to yourself. If you know that you're going to have a conversation on Friday, let's say it's Monday, you know you have a conversation on Friday that you need to make. Maybe it's a little sales pitch, maybe it's a little school presentation, maybe it's a little date, whatever it is, you have the ability to practice that with yourself all the way up until Friday. So having those conversations in your mind out loud is going to be what's going to help you to get to that point. You don't just sign up for a basketball league, and then you show up to the game and expect to perform. Like, no, you must practice. You must practice. And so that is exactly what we're doing, is we're practicing every single day on making these things a reality. So we're going to talk to ourselves in the mirror. We're going to look at the way that we look. We're going to look at the way that other people perceive us, okay? I think that appearance is very important. I think that the way that you carry yourself is very important. I think that your smile, your mouth, your teeth, your eyes, your face, everything about you. I'm not saying you have to be like a supermodel, whatever. You do have to care enough about that first impression to even command the attention for a moment from someone else. So we're going to take all of these things into account. And this is exactly what it is that we're going to do, is we're going to practice becoming that person. We're going to practice wearing our best clothes, wearing our favorite perfume, our favorite cologne. We're going to do the things that we know we're worthy of, that we're going to start doing those more frequently. And we're going to practice those words out loud, right? We're going to pretend like we're reaching our hand out to shake someone's hand, right? We're going to practice that response to say, hey, my name is Taylor. What's your name? You know, those things are what we're going to practice. Okay. So we're going to practice those things. Now we're going to take it to the next level. We're going to try it with a pet. We're going to try it with our dog, with our cat, with our spouse, with another person, another being. You're like, oh my God, you want me to do what? This is what I want you to do, is to practice saying it to someone else, to, again, your beloved fur baby, a child, a spouse, what, a sibling, whatever. It does not matter. You need to try it with someone else, okay? Have them respond back if you can. If they're a dog, obviously they're not going to respond. It's pretty much the same as doing it, you know, with the mirror, except for you have actual eyes to look into. You're going to practice these things that you would practice and you would want to have happen to you in real life. So practicing that with another being is going to be your next step. Then the next step that you're going to do is you're going to bring it into real life. So I mentioned the grocery store, I mentioned the Target thing. I'm not saying, again, I'm not asking you to do the most crazy, ridiculous thing. No, I'm asking you to step out of your way to become a connector, to connect with somebody about something that is not ordinary. So you're going to talk about how, you know, you're going to talk about how, not how the weather is. You're not going to talk about the weather. You're not going to talk about these things that are just what everybody else talks about. You're going to think about things that are going to make a difference. So if somebody's wearing a Viking shirt, you're going to ask them who their favorite player is and why. You're going to ask them about the coaching staff. You're going to ask them about something very specific that they would hopefully know. And if they're like, oh, I just wear this shirt because I like the color, you'd be like, oh, okay, well, never mind, then that goes that question out the door. And you just start to ad-lib with it, right? You just learn how to communicate by communicating. And so there's certain things you obviously can't practice, like a response that you have had no idea they were going to say that out loud. You just learn to mold into what it is that conversation is going into. So anyways, thank you for watching this video. I just wanted to share with you some of those points. I feel that it's the most needed and least discussed thing that we have in today's world as a tool, as a superpower, as human beings to unlock and be a super connector that is very charismatic. So with that, thank you for watching. I will see you guys on the next video very soon. Bye.